Am I live? Am I? I don't know if I am. Is this working? I get so nervous with live streams that I have not technically clicked the right button. So let me know. Oh, yes. Hi, Crystal. Thanks for coming out. So, yay, we are officially live streaming. I have clicked all the buttons. Thank you so much for coming out and hanging out. I'm super excited about today's live stream. I thought this would just be like a really fun way to get some mending done. And, everybody has that pile of clothes that just, well, that pile right there. Love the buttons. Got to push them all. Like Pokemon, right? So I've got a big pile of mending, and I figured I might as well hang out with you guys while I do it. So I'm going to let you guys decide actually what we're doing tonight. And right now, Crystal's the only one talking to me, so it's all going to be what Crystal wants at this point. So, you guys going to have to speak up. All right, so this is my big pile of things that have to be taken care of. Our choices are, hi, Craftosaurus, hello, Lisbees, and Onsa. Yay. Well, Craftosaurus, you're going to have to grab that mending. Hi, Maria. Hi, Allison. So this is our choices for the evening. I have, over on this pile, I have a bunch of new waistbands that need to be made, either to make them larger, because I finally admitted to myself, sometimes it might take me a while. Then I have like little fixes, like just little tears, that kind of thing. Then we have zipper issues, which I don't know if I have zippers for all the zipper issues. And then we have weird things like turning this dress into a skirt and then reconstructing this skirt into a skirt. Then we have other weird things like moving pockets on this one. The boning came out. And then I have a pillow that exploded. So, you guys are going to have to let me know. What would you guys rather do? I know I threw a lot at you. Would you rather do waistbands, small fixes, pillow making, or like the weird stuff? So let me know. Zippers later. Onsa, you are right there with me. Hey, Midge. Thanks for coming. The delay can be a little weird. It can. Very weird. Let's see. I don't know how to, if I could put up a little voting thing, I would do that, but I am not. Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much. Hi, Dawn. Zippers later. Yep. Pick your favorite one. Do something weird. How did I know Midge would say that? Midge, always pushing me to do the weird. I love it. Move a pocket. Start small. Hey, Mary, how are you? Weird stuff. Zippers now. Pamela. Friday catch up. Yay. Okay. Let's see. Weird stuff or waistbands. Okay. Hey, Morgan. I don't know if you saw my haul video, but I featured some of your stuff in the haul. Thank you so much. It's weird because I think the fact that I changed my hair color as well as with the relaunch, I think some people got confused. Even JL was like, who's on Jennifer's channel? Hey, Emily, League of Decency is here. Yes. Yeah, and we're also going to be bringing back the top 10 fashion live streams waistbands, weird or pillow. Should be fixing clothes, but I would prefer to craft dream catchers. Ooh, Sarah, that sounds fun. Do the hard thing first. Okay. Okay, I'm going to decide this based on the thing that I have been wanting to wear. Because, you know, when stuff starts to break, it really reduces your wardrobe. All right, so let's do okay. We're gonna do we want to do a waistband? Okay. I'm gonna now make these are the two items that I have been missing the most. So this is one of my Atomic Starlet skirts. I love it, but the waistband is too small. Midge, I am too graceful. Would you believe it doesn't have wheels? And then this is also this used to be one of my favorite dresses. But what happened was, like, it's a really weird fabric, and it started doing this all over the bust. But it's Kitties on the Moon. So the bottom has some snagging, but I figured I could turn it into a skirt and still get some wear out of it. So those are the two options. So that is your final vote. Weird or pillow. Oh, thank you, Wansma. Yeah, I went with the dark hair. I needed to give my scalp a chance to heal. Because I have, I don't know if any of you guys know, I have really bad plaque psoriasis. And because if this channel isn't about TMI, I don't know what is. And it has been getting a lot better. So I thought if I just stopped bleaching for a while, that might actually help. So that's why I went with the dark hair. So you had to do a lot of stupid hemming. Hemming circle skirts is really annoying. Yes. A lot of good videos out. Dawn, I'm so glad you're here. Space Hound, hi. You avoid mending on the stretch fabric items, leggings, and a couple of tops. Right? Such a cute dress. Floral. Emily says floral. Second life for the snagging fabric, the waistband, skirt, waistband. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Space Hound. Bleaching helped keep yours down. Oh, that's interesting. Get that skirt back in action. Crocheting. Nice. Gotta love when you drop your phone and knock yourself out of a live stream. All right. So we're going to go with the floral because I absolutely love this. Wow. This camera is really vibrant. I like it. All right. So I actually have a bunch of scraps. So these are all really weird length scraps. So keep your scraps. Because you never know when you need to, if you're like me and your weight fluctuates, you never know when you're going to need to change it again. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually pick off the old waistband. And I have to apologize. This camera, that one right there, tickle, does not zoom in. So I guess I could do this. Hold on. There we go. There. You want to do that dress? You got the op shop. Bust was the only thing that was too small. The op shop got at the op shop. I don't know what the op shop is. Oh, Sarah, are you not from the US? Because isn't the op shop like a thrift store in a different country? I could be making things up though. All right, so I'm just going to very carefully seam rip this baby. Ashley's been rewatching the Viva vlogs. Sadly, I will not be at Viva this year. Jail and I both have commitments this year and probably next year. So we might miss Viva for a couple years. We were just talking about it the other day. Like, it's kind of sad, but we've been going for so long. I feel like, I don't know, like it's okay to take a break from it for a little while. It's a good view. Okay. Great view. Thank you. Thank you. You have a peasant skirt. You could go finish. Yeah, go grab your peasant skirt. Let's sit down. Everybody grab a little something, something. Sit down and let's do it. Good evening. So good to see you, Furious Flow. Opportunity Shop. Hey, fellow Aussie. It was from a different. Okay. See, I think, who was I watching? I was watching somebody that was from New Zealand, I think, that was talking about Op Shop. Oh, I know, Furious Flow. I'm gonna miss. That's the thing about it, is I'm gonna miss seeing like everybody. Like it's one of those things you look forward to, seeing the same people every year and meeting new friends. Yeah, Aussies have good taste in people. Rachel, I'm gonna miss seeing you. Chucky's bride for sliding live. Oh, well, thanks for being here. You know, oddly enough, Chucky's bride, I feel like you like creepy things, and it's ironic that Midge responded right after you. So if you like things that are kooky, campy, and spooky, you need to visit Midge as well. Yes, it does count, Midge. Speaking of, we need to do something. We need to get, that idea we had, now that you're sewing again, we need to get back onto that, or something even weirder. Yes. Oh, Eli, no, thanks. Yes, punch that like button if you like seam ripping. No, wait, nobody likes seam ripping, do they? If you dislike seam ripping, you're watching on your TV, but chatting from my phone 100%. I love that, Bobby. You were mending a peasant skirt and your video popped up. Oh, Patricia. See, it's like we're hanging out, right? It's always better doing this stuff when you're hanging out with somebody. Hit that line on my way in. Like it. Hit that like, I'm assuming, right? We'll do things. Yeah. Yes, we do. I did finish the skirt, but I never got to the top portion. But yes, we need to do some things. So all I'm doing now that I basically ripped the waistband, the inside of the waistband out, as I'm now kind of ripping down the zipper. I'm not going to take it off completely because, well, why restart the wheel? So all I'm doing is seam ripping the zipper off until it's probably like a good 2 inches below where the seam is. So it's kind of out of my way. Me, because I didn't finish my... Girl, I didn't finish mine either. I only got part of the way. Alicia, here to soak in the tips. Finches, obi, and kimono. Ooh, yes. You need to do something with that. Mary, you're going this year? We will definitely miss you guys. We always love getting to hang out with you. Have some drinks and some silliness. There's always a certain part of like the seam ripping that gets troublesome. Have you ever been seam ripping and then you like punch through your fabric and create a hole? That's real fun. I know I'm doing this the wrong way and you're supposed to seam rip from the ball side, but never seems to work out for me. And you can set your chat option to all messages rather than top messages so you don't miss a quip. Ooh, Friday. What would we do without you? Clearly not have as much fun. Ooh, I got my concentration face on. Yeah, so I thought doing live streams. I miss doing live streams because I miss getting to chat with you guys in real life. So I'll be doing at least a live stream a month. I'm trying to, I don't know, I'm thinking I might do two because I really like the idea of mending. But some of this stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I would get done in a reasonable time on the channel. You know what I mean? Because I would like to complete things. All right. This is a gathered skirt. So, oh, wow. There's a hole right there. So, well, it's a good thing we're mending it. So now basically I am going to tackle separating I keep doing this, like the camera's up here. I need to stop that. Not used to having a 2-camera view. So now that the zipper is kind of pulled away a little bit from the seam at the waist, I am going to now detach the waistband from the skirt itself. This is a gathered skirt. Does that mean anything at this moment? No. It's just saying words out loud. So this is serged. So when it's a serged seam, I basically put my seam ripper in the very top of it and just kind of run it through. I mean, honestly, once you get kind of these loopy loops out of the way, it tends to kind of just pop right off. That is the exact sound it makes. I can't seem to seam rip from the ball side, right? Right? I always try to seam rip the right way. You know, you watch the videos and you're like, oh my God, I've been doing it wrong my entire life. And then you go to do it and it just doesn't work. And that's why nobody does it from the ball side, because you can never really get it to work right. New ones. Oh, yeah. You know, that's the crazy thing, is you don't think about the fact that your seam rippers and get dull over time. Yeah. And then you think that it's just a seam ripper and it's not. All right. So now I try to like stretch my fabric a little bit so I can kind of dig in there. This is probably where like the danger of puncturing stuff goes. I really, honestly, guys, I will tell you this. This is not my favorite thing to do. I hate deconstructing things to redo them. I like doing them from scratch, but when stuff like this is done and I have like this skirt back and I didn't have to remake it from scratch, it makes me really, really happy, and it still looks super good. But like this process to me is just not enjoyable, which is probably why my mending pile got so big. Does anybody like doing it from scratch? Because I know like a lot of people who like thrift and upcycle, like this is their like peanut butter and jam. Not mine. Not mine. I'm a Taurus. I like shiny new things. I was using the same. An X-Acto knife. An X-Acto knife. Crystal. Are you on to something with that? I feel like I would be even more disastrous with an X-Acto. Does it work better? Well, obviously, if you're using an X-Acto, it probably does work better for you, right? Mini box opener. You guys, what is the chaos that's going on? Box cutters? I am so intrigued. I can see an X-Acto knife because I feel like it's tiny enough to get in there, but a box cutter? A box cutter. You've clearly blown my mind. I'm not going to get off the box cutter for a while now, because I have one over there. They're horribly dull, though. Cat. Oh, hi, Cat. Any advice and ideas for a fast sew outfit for Viva car show that I won't melt in? A fast sew? I'm not. That's hard because, like, what would be a fast sew to one person might not be for another. But I would say that a couple options. The I'm trying to think of the dress pattern. This dress, hold on. This type of dress where it's a very simple, like, ballerina top. It's a princess seam. It's a Gertie pattern from Butterick, I think that was I used. If anybody knows which one that is, that one was a really fast sew for me. Because it's few pieces, and I think that's the key. If you can find something that has, does that make you nervous? So yeah, if it's the fewer sewing pieces, the easier it is to sew up. And that would definitely keep you cool. And honestly, it's your fabric choice really that's gonna be the best for you. So you could really go with any sewing pattern. And then just use like a really lightweight cotton. I've also been in love with linen lately. I just got a duvet, a linen duvet. Don't I sound fancy? A linen duvet. And I'm kind of obsessed with it, and I want to start making clothes in linen. So that would be a really good option. So once I get like the loopy loop things out, it really is pretty easy to separate it out. You just have to be really careful that when you're doing the pulling, that you're not pulling too hard, because I have had it where it split the fabric this way if you pull too much. And that can just be because like fabric gets old over time, and sometimes it'll split on the weave. The other option I would say for like quick sews for the Viva car show is to do like shorts would be really cute. Shorts are actually fairly easy to make, shorts, pants. And there are some really good patterns out there for just like really simple, like cigarette, or tap shorts are really good. Mrs. Depew has a good tap short pattern. And then you could either use a top that you have or buy a top and then just accessorize with some really cute like wedges or something like that. Or you could do, if you don't want to do shorts, because I feel like I look really funny in shorts. I don't know what it is. It's not that I don't like showing my legs, but for some reason I think it just looks weird. Just my legs sticking out of a pair of shorts, which is what they do. But that's an option too, for quick sews. How did I get started? Hi, Sarah. How did I get started sewing? Am I self-taught? Did I have a basic home ec? So I'm mostly self-taught. Funny story. I did take home ec, but it was actually it was middle school. Was it middle school? No. Yeah. Wait. Yes, middle school. I was in middle school, and it wasn't a home ec class. It was like an art class, and we were actually sewing in our art class, and we got to make stuffed animals. And I had an aunt that was a seamstress. She was a really good like tailor. And my mom's best friend, who lived right next door to us, was a seamstress as well. So my mom did a little bit of sewing, but not a ton. But we had this art class, and we got to make these stuffed animals, and I still have it somewhere in this house. So like the most difficult stuffed animal you could make was this dragon. And of course I'm going to make a dragon. And it was pink and green. And so I made this dragon, most complicated, had little wings and everything. And I feel like, here, hold on, let me move this over so you can I move that over? No, not really. Can you guys see this okay? Let me know if you can't. I made this dragon, and the only mistake I made is I forgot to change out my bobbin. And on the, I think it was pink wings, because the body was green, I didn't change out my bobbin, so the stitching was in the opposite color. That was the only mistake I made. Do you know that my parents got called into the school because the art teacher did not believe that I sewed it? Because you got to sew it from home too. Like if you wanted to, you could take it home and finish sewing it. So she basically said that I had cheated. And yeah, so my dad set them straight. But I will say this, though, that incident, I was so upset by it that I stopped sewing for a long time after that. And then picked it back up, circling back around to the home ec. I picked it back up in home ec, and then I started sewing again. But at that time, it was really just doing like small stuff like aprons and pillows and just like little things. I was not making clothes because as a teenager, I wanted to wear name brand because, you know, I didn't want to be different from everybody else. So I wasn't making my own clothes, which I think is really fun right now that so many kids have embraced like thrifting and being different, not being the same as everybody. So yeah, so it wasn't until I got into the vintage style that I actually started sewing clothes, because I was always super intimidated by it, by like the fitting process. But vintage clothes are so expensive, and with the body type that I had, it was really incredibly hard to find vintage that was my size, just because, you know, larger size items were worn and they were well loved, and they didn't really, it's survival bias really. So yeah, so that's, and from that I just started taking it kind of one step at a time and looking up and researching things as I went through. So if you're wanting to get into clothes, I used this book. This was the first book that I used, Sew Everything Workshop. It had patterns in it, and it really just kind of walked you through how to do things. But honestly, now I'm a big fan of Gertie's. And she kind of does the same thing where she's got the patterns in there and she walks you through stuff. And there's a lot of really great like Patreons where they will not only give you the pattern like Gertie's Patreon, like any pattern she releases on Patreon, she does a walkthrough video. So those are really good ways. So yeah, that was a really long answer to your question, Sarah. Jonathan also agrees with me that sewing from scratch is so much better. X-Acto has a super sharp point and the blade lays flat. Oh, Sarah, you like dyeing and fixing buttons. I am actually going to be, I have a project that's probably not going to be done for like a month yet, but it is for the channel, and it is my first foray into dyeing fabric. So I'm really excited about that. So very nervous about it. But I discovered that RIT has, because I need a very particular color, RIT actually has like formulas for how to get specific colors out of their dyes, which I'm really excited about. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't done the dyeing yet. Oh, Rebecca, thank you so much. I got the mojo. Yeah, I'm really proud of that gathered skirt tutorial. It was a heck of a lot of work. Hi, Michelle. Reminding me, I have a subscriber sending me box cutters because she was sick of watching you dangerously unbox stuff with scissors. Yeah. That, and maybe I should slide around a little bit more on my non-rolling chair just to make you feel the same way she feels about watching you unbox things. Taking apart jeans are heavy duty fabric. Linen it is. Oh, yep. Thank you, Bobby. Yeah. That was it. Butterick 6453. Oh, linen pants. I will say this is, true confession time as well. I have a really hard time with pants because I have a really hard time with my belly in pants. Not that I don't like my belly. My belly is what it is, and it's soft and it's wonderful and squishy. But I don't like the silhouette it gives, I guess, is what it is. But I see other people with lovely squishy bellies that wear pants and look fabulous all the time. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm seeing when I look in the mirror versus what I'm seeing when I look at these other fabulous people in pants. So I don't know what it is. But I feel like if I liked pants, that I would love linen pants. I say using a new simper usually the best. Yeah. Have I ever made jeans? Allison, no. I have not. Again, pants. Not that I haven't worn pants, but I usually will wear like longer tops with them. And I tend to like, I feel like at certain times of the day, I am different sizes. Like I feel like I have a lot of problems with bloating. But which is another reason why I'm not really a big fan of pants. But I don't know. Maybe I would make jeans. I don't know. Maybe I need to explore this pants issue that I have. I have watched quilters use hair clippers to seam rip. That terrifies me as well. Alicia's with us in her terror. A couple of really nice linen dresses with thrifting. Oh, yeah, Sarah. One of my friends, Tara, she has a lot of linen dresses, and they always look so lovely. Dragons are awesome. I know Friday, she was really rude. So rude. You had a teacher accuse you of not creating an art project too. Why do teachers do that? Like, I mean, I feel like that just ruins somebody's like spirit of creation, because I feel like people have assumptions, like if you can't do one thing, like, or you're not like, you don't seem like a creative to somebody, that they can't believe that you would do something. Like I was in a relationship with somebody who was like, I made like a really nice dinner for them, and they were like shocked I could cook. They were like, accuse me of not making it. I'm like, what about me says that I can't cook? I don't understand. Also, it was a horrible relationship, so that could have a lot to do with it. But yeah, people just always, people just need to, if people would stop making assumptions about other people and getting all up in other people's shit and judging them constantly, we wouldn't have half the problems in the world we have today. So, you fell out of sewing, you want to get back into it. You're also nervous around making content around it because I'm kind of winging it a lot. Well, Catherine, I feel like not everybody on the internet has to be an expert, because sometimes waistband be gone. And then now all I'm going to do is I'm going to break all the seams. So these are so I can iron this. So I'm just going to lightly tug on it to break all the seams. Not everybody needs to be an expert. And I think sometimes it's really good for people to see that everybody starts somewhere, because I think sometimes when you're looking at an expert, because the more hours you put into something, the more second nature it is to you. So it's just really easy for you to do that. And sometimes it's easier if people can see somebody struggling through something. And I think as long as, people are honest about where their skill set sits, nobody's going to be like, oh, no, you're not an expert. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I think a lot of times when you struggle, that's a lot of the same struggles they're having. So you can work through it together. All right, I am getting out my ironing board. Da-da-da-da. Let's see. All right. While that's warming up, let's catch up on. Gertie is great. I feel like I talk about her so much. I want to get into other independent, small sewing pattern companies because I use Gertie a lot and I use Depew Patterns a lot. And I've used, was it Historical Stitches, I think? Her stuff is really good as well. Oh, yes. Mary, I thrift and love to get top sheets for fabrics. Mary. Why do I not have the luck you have? Oh, yeah. Walk-away dress, Butterick. Sorry, Stephanie. Stephanie has feelings around that dress. I actually will be tackling that dress from a different angle, probably in 2 months, which I'm excited about. You found me from a Gertie. Oh, that makes me happy, Bobby. Some items you try trick doilies. You use them like my dream catchers, either dye them or fabric paint. Guys, I went through my mom's cedar chest recently. It's now my drinks bar, by the way. But it's one of those things like it's almost been 3 years since my mom passed. But let's get ironing while we're chatting about that. I swear this comes around to doilies. I swear this tangent does have a reason. So the cedar chest, like there's just some things that you just don't end up going through, they just, especially since, I don't know, like if you don't have to go through certain things, you really kind of don't. It's almost like if you don't touch it and you don't move it, like that time period is still there. I don't know. Grief is weird. But I finally went through the cedar chest with my sister the other day. And they had things like my mom's wedding dresses in there, my dad's military uniform. But oh my God, did I find a treasure trove of mid-century like tablecloths, handkerchiefs, a lot of just like linens. And I was so excited. And doily after my mom really apparently liked doilies. And I kept all of them because I'm like, I don't know, like I love the idea of a doily, and I see people that do the doily and they do it really well. Also, how many times can I say a doily? But I don't feel like I doily very well. I don't know how to doily. But I love the idea that you use them as dream catchers. That's so incredibly cool. So that was my long tangent on doilies. It's all in the cut of the pants. Cat pants scare you as well. My go-to book is the Reader's Digest Complete Guide to Sewing 1970s version. Oh, Rebecca, that sounds really cool. What is the worst sewing accident that you've had? Worst sewing accident? Honestly, I don't know. I mean, breaking my machine. I will say the most frustrating sewing that I had was when I was doing the 1940s house coat, which is on the channel. It's one of my favorites that I've done, but it was my first time like sewing with like sequins and that. And that was really difficult, like dealing with the bulk and getting around corners. And then I did actually sew the needle into my finger. But I know that you would think that that would be the worst, but it really just kind of went through like the thin part of my skin. So it was more or less just making sure, because, you know, you want to like pull it, but I had to make sure that I waited and then like slowly pulled the needle up so I didn't rip it. So that was probably my worst. Okay, so while that, I'm going to set that off to the side and we're going to make the waistband. I'm trying to basically limit everything I do before I go over to the sewing machine. But I have a pattern, so let me go grab that. It's just right over here. I won't be gone too long. Will I? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe if I can't find it. Oh, there it is. And I always have to measure my waistbands because I end up cutting them sometimes and not remembering that I've cut them down. Then I'll make a new waistband, try it on, and it's too tight. So that's fun. All right, I'm going to pull you guys closer. The linen pants you wear are really loose. You have a C-section. I have weird lower tummy shelf, and they wear nicely. Oh, Alicia, that sounds really nice, the linen pants. You don't have a weird lower tummy shelf. You have a luscious shelf. I know. I'm a big fan of Midge myself. Modesty with pants. I know. She's been killing it lately, especially with her little spider she created. Friday. I'm glad you got that A+. You found out, that you can pound the fat seams with a hammer before you sew over them. That really good tip. Because sewing over bulk, I think, is one of the hardest things. Linen skirts. Oh, cool. I can't sew jeans. Can't handle them. Well, maybe if you pound them. I will say this, like a lot of times if you're going through thick fabric, I tend to hand crank because if you're using your foot pedal, sometimes that is what's having the problem. So if you're going over a really bulky area, just take the time and just hand crank it. How's my embroidery coming along, Morgan? It's coming along. I will say I hit an area where I didn't like how it was looking and I got kind of mad at it because I think I'm doing it wrong. But I'm getting there. I think I need to just do like a real simple embroidery on something so I can get excited about it again. Patterns for pirates. Tilly and the buttons. Rebecca. Okay, I'm going to look them up. Thank you. I will say, I'm going to measure this while I talk about caftan. As a lot of you guys know, I have a passion for caftans. What does my waist size need to be? Hold on. So I am currently a 38 waist. Divide that by 2. That's 15 plus 4. What is that? 19? 19 plus seam allowance. That's 1 1/4. That's 20 1/4. So these have to be, front waistband needs to be 20 1/4 for it to be the right one. I know it says 38 inches on this, but this is 20 1/8 because you'll start to shave down, and I keep meaning to make a pattern that I never cut, that I just use to trace other patterns. But have I done that yet? No. Okay, this is closer to 20 1/8. Oh, this. Okay, this one's a 39 inch. Do I want to just make it roomy? No. Do I? No. No. Okay, we're going to use this one. Oh, so caftan. Yeah, so I have a passion for caftan. And I like the ones that are like this, where it like pulls it in, because otherwise you look very shapeless. This one is from the Oblong Box shop. I've tried some of the ones from Unique Vintage, which that might end up being a mending live stream, because I need to fix them, because I bought the plus size, because, well, plus size, and it's way too big. I think it's made for like extremely busty people, which is great if you have that. I'm not that busty. So I have to fix it. But I will say, Oblong Box shop has made the caftan that I like the most. I will say the internal straps are a lot thicker than I prefer. So for the most part, I tie them off to the side. Otherwise, when you sit back, you sit on the bow and it's very uncomfortable. Jonathan, no. Please write again. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry they did that. So the world unite. She makes dresses out of them with lady slit. Oh, interesting. You've sewn through your finger twice. Rite of passage. Totally. Do you know that my aunt once sat on a needle and unfortunately caused her a lot of pain for a long time? Okay. So, wait, now I got to figure out my small ones. Hold on. So if I'm 38, then 19. 19 is half, right? Yeah. So half of 19. 9 and 9.5, right? 9.5 plus 1 1/4. That's 10 3/4. Yeah, it's 10 3/4. It's written right on the thing, Jen. 10 3/4. Yeah, like this is even shaved down. Like I just need to get rid of those. Oh, that's too big. Oh, hakata. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? Wasn't impressed the boys in that class were though. I also enjoy. Oh, the Closet Historian. Yes. Bianca. 2 Biancas that I like that though. Vintage Untap and Closet Historian. She's so good. Closet Historian Bianca always makes me really like, I get so intimidated by pattern drafting, and every time she does it, it just makes me want to go for it. Kind of beading too. Ooh, beads and doilies. Mincemeat. Did your caftan come with the belt? Or no, it came with the belt. Yeah. Hey, Haley. Speaking of other very cool people who sew on YouTube, Haley is amazing. And what I like that Haley does is she breaks down the cost of her projects. Oh my gosh, you guys. I just want to sit here and read comments. Hand sewing. Hello, hello. Ah, so good. So good, 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 good. I like that idea of using the doily as a lace insert. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure this. This is coming in at, so I need to add a 1/4 of an inch. Add. And I will just use these two for now. And just remind me later to remake my waistbands. Because. All right. So now we got to cut our waistband. So I have my fabric. And I also am going to use interfacing. Because you always want to interface your waistbands. It will keep them from stretching out over time. It will also add just a little bit. This is like a really light interfacing, but it adds just a little bit more structure. So nobody wants their waistbands curling. Physically winced. Is it, I'm guessing it was the mincemeat fingers. All right. So what do we have in here? I love this fabric so much. I want to say, who was this? I don't think they make it anymore. I want to say this was like Alexander Henry, maybe. I know. I'm looking for it on the, because usually it's on the selvage. I guess I don't have any of the selvage that has the name on it. But my God, I love this fabric because it was a border print. And it's really hard to find like border prints that are actually a border print nowadays. Like a lot of people don't make border prints. I am trying to see if I have anything that is wide enough from selvage to selvage to do the waistband, but I don't think I do. So, which is fine. I think I will. Yeah, because I'm just gonna have to cut it this way, and I don't think you're really gonna be able to tell. It's a waistband, right? Nobody's gonna be able. Don't tell. I have a friend who makes them a few dresses. Great ideas. Oh, do you ever watch the gals? Oh, yes. Help me. I subscribe to her. I watch her. I love her. She does like sewing classes and everything. Oh my gosh, what is her name? I could look it up right now, but then I would not be mending. Yeah, block sloper pattern. Was just in time for the bus. So, one of the things that I picked up from Bianca as well is if you have a pattern that you like a fairly simple, like go find like a really simple, like round neck pattern. I have to get my rotary cutter. Find a round neck pattern bodice, right? And then that just has simple darts here. Mock it up, get it nice and fitted to where it fits like a glove. And then use that as your sloper. A lot easier than starting from strap. Yes, Evelyn Wood, right? Evelyn Wood, yeah. Oh, Haley just said it, yeah. The blue gingham on my son. I have, oh, you do? I would love to make a blue gingham dress. I'm not going to lie. My secret's safe with you. Yes, her stuff is so good. She's another good one outside of Gertie for like learning. Because really, I mean, if you're gonna start the first thing I started when I started making sewing was skirts. Because they're fairly simple, especially circle skirts, right? They're fairly simple to make. They're fairly simple to pattern. I'm actually probably going to redo my circle skirt tutorial. But that's a really good place to start. And they're really versatile, and you can do really, really fun skirts. And then once you kind of learn the basics from that, then you can go into like a dress, a sewing dress. Am I adding 1/4 of an inch? I sure am. For some, because you know what my problem is lately? I just feel like nothing fits me right now, so I just want to make everything bigger than it needs to be. Once I had a kid, plus the rule became if a pin or needle drops, all steps. Ooh, oh, everything stops until you find it. Yeah. Body double while you finish your peasant skirt. Anytime, Dawn. I'm trying to think. So Rena is great. Love her. I don't think she has a YouTube channel, but on Instagram, So Drew is amazing. She's actually, somebody was talking about jeans earlier. She is currently making a denim outfit, and it's like has embroidery on it, and it's super cute. So if you're on Instagram, definitely go check her out. Retro Claude is great. Love her. Obviously, I already mentioned the Biancas. Stephanie Canada. She doesn't do a lot of sewing, but she does a lot of like comparing vintage patterns to reproduction patterns, and she just does some really funny stuff. Oh, I think I only added like an 1/8. What did I say? I was going to add 1/4. Do you ever have that moment? That's 1/4. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more because I think nothing fits me anymore. Oh, thank you, Allison. You made. Oh, you did Friday. Oh, I love that. Love it. She is a snowing sewing right. Oh my god, you know what I started with a collared shirt house dress thing. I do not recommend. If I could go back, I'd start with skirts and then peasant. Yes. I'm gonna do a 1/2 inch on this. But a lot of people talk about how they hate doing zippers. For me, it's buttons. And it's the buttonholes, because if you've ever had to like pick out a buttonhole, it just gives me a lot of anxiety. It's really fun to watch the machine like go back and forth on it. But yeah, that. So I would say for your first project, stay away from buttons. Zippers really aren't that bad. I wouldn't be as afraid of them. Peasant blouses, like Haley said, are great because they usually have neither zippers nor buttons. And for skirts, you can even go, like my first skirt I just did as an elastic waistband, which I think is a lot more approachable for a lot of people. But I will tell you this, I hate doing elastic waistbands. I would rather do a zipper. Watch it. Produce bags or pillows. Oh, she is. Okay, perfect. For some reason, I don't think I follow her. Thank you, Haley. You have such a big waist. I really need to figure out the math to make it on 1/8 of the circle and make panels that way to utilize the fabric. Yeah. A circle skirt calculator will help with that. But yeah, don't be afraid of paneling your fabric. She does have a great sense of humor. Fish from the Cat in the Hat. Oh, that's very cool. You'll do a hook and eye before you'll do a button any day of the week. Agreed. I will say though that hook and eyes, they're so like the really tiny ones. They get me so nervous because they're very like working in tiny miniature stuff. I think it's because my eyes are getting bad as the older I get. Just a running list of the things I can't do. So I don't know. Hook and eyes, they make me sweat. Oh, if you hate zipper, you definitely for zippers, you need a zipper foot. Yeah, doing a zipper without a zipper foot would cause so much anxiety and make it really hard to do. You found a border print with thrift. Mary, between your amazing finding of great linens and sheets to make stuff out of, and now you're telling me you're finding border prints out in the wild? Maybe I'm going to the wrong thrift stores because I never find that good stuff. But Lacey's the same way. She goes to a thrift store and she's like, I found these amazing XYZs. I'm like, how? You hated doing buttonholes until you got your Ingot Singer, the vintage buttonhole attached. Ooh. You have a lot of drawstrings. Oh, bound buttonholes. Pagan. Oh, hi, Pagan Taylor. I am so intimidated by bound buttonholes. I don't know what it is, but they look so beautiful. I see them a lot of times like on coats. So what advice would you give for someone to make them not as nervous about tackling a bound buttonhole? It's too afraid of figuring out. He do looks buttonhole foot. The CosTube community is amazing. Oh yes, so Steen. Oh yeah, Lady Rebecca Fashions, love her. Costuming drama. And I will say, not just costume sewers, but I love also following cosplayers. Sarah Spaceman right now is one of my favorites. I actually got to meet her at a work event not too long ago. Delightful human being. And who else do I really like? I'm drawing a blank right now. But I like following a lot of cosplayers just because they do a lot of like cool techniques to achieve certain looks. And I feel like that's a really good way of like expanding the way that we can do things. So even if we're doing replicating vintage, it gives us ideas and like inspiration. And I find that with people like Sosteen and Megan Dorner, Abby Cox, Nicole Rudolph. Rudolph is really great as well. Okay, I'm going to finish this over here. I think I only have one more interfacing to do. I'm going to be so happy to be able to wear this skirt again. You have no idea. I think I just, oh no, there it is. I was going to say, I just lost it. All right. Hey, David. I'm assuming, oh, hi, Ezra. This is two of my friends, not sewers, but definitely gamers. Oh, do the giant hook and eye. Yeah. You're doing an elastic waist. What is a bound buttonhole? Basically, you know how normally like a buttonhole, I'm trying to see if I have, if you look at a normal, how do you describe a bound button? Basically, you don't see any of like the stitching around it. It's basically almost like a buttonhole inception where you have a hole where your button goes, but then inside the buttonhole, there's almost like a little inset of fabric that looks like a smaller buttonhole inside of it. I think that's the best way to describe that. Go slow, lots of practice ones. Couple squares. Okay. You haven't contemplated buttonholes. It is something to be contemplated. Lots of practice that don't have any stakes. Oh, Haley, you know me. You practice before doing it on a real project. I always practice my sewing machine buttonholes before I do them because I can never remember the direction in which it goes. There you go. Tiny welt pocket. That is a much better description than buttonhole inception. Oh, yeah. Rachel Maxey is great. Oh, Angela Clayton. I love her too. Her drag and drop. Oh my gosh. Her stuff is. Oh, Bernadette Banner. Yes. There's also, oh, geez, what's his name? There's a guy. He's almost like the dude version of Bernadette Banner that I really like. He does a lot of tailoring stuff, and now I can't think of his name. Cat can sew. I'm not awful. Ezra wants to know what you're making today. I am making a new waistband for a skirt that I own because the waistband was too small. So now I'm going to make a new one. I can wear it. Dave's mom is a really Box Games Reviews mom is a really good sewer as well. She makes like purses and bags and everything. Her stuff is like amazing. Talk about like sewing on thick fabrics. I don't know how she does it. But last track from doing welt pockets is a nightmare trying to get it perfect. Mandy, oh my God, fabric lips. Yes, fabric lips. Oh my God, that's even better than buttonhole inception. I'm sorry, I'm going to giggle about that for at least another 10 minutes. Fabric lips. To shout out lesser known people. Astra Darling. Yes. I actually, did I meet her? Wait, no. But I love her too. I also got to meet, if you like cosplayers, I got to meet Casey Renee Cosplay. Also sweet human being. And also Seams Come True and Cowbutt Crunchies. Not all of them have YouTube channels though. But they were all amazing people, and they do a lot of fabric work. In fact, Cowbutt Crunchies, they came out with a book on basically creating ballroom gowns for cosplay, which is an insanely good book. They picked that up. Because, again, it's taking things from other people doing other things and being able to apply them to what we're doing and letting them inspire us. Dang it. I cut out 2 of these, you guys. I know I did. I don't know where it went. Is it my garbage? I hate cutting interfacing. Don't know why. I feel like it's a punishment. I already cut out the fabric pieces. Why do I got to cut out interfacing too? That's not it. Is that it? You guys, am I? Seriously, I know. I cut at. I know. Because I cut. Oh my God. What is my life right now? I know I cut out 2 of these. Oh. It was under the pattern piece. Am I the only one that does that? Carolina. Oh, she's was that the Pride and Prejudice podcast? Pin set tailoring? No, but now I want to check them out. There should be, Morgan. That isn't a YouTube comment section. It is, you know what, Crystal? It is still holding together. So much fabric in a ball gown. Thrifting, miracle. Yeah, that's, I love doing that, but yeah, it's hard. Cat's costumery. Yep. Sewing therapy. Ooh, have to check her out. Samantha loves the show. Hi, Donna Lee. Thank you so much. Nora Morel. Sewing for dummies, but in video form. If I do have a gathered skirt and circle skirt tutorial, which is fairly step-by-step. Ashley Main. Oh my God, there's so many. Thank you, David. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to bring back the ironing bird. All right. So all I'm going to do now is iron my interfacing to my waistbands. And I prep my waistbands. Just I find it makes it the whole process just a little bit easier. Yeah, that cooled itself down. Included. I've been sort of wanting to make my own clothes with Pat. Excuse me. Anita by Design. I've been sort of wanting to make my own clothes with patterns, but what are included in those patterns? I know I'm wondering, but like it's $16 of what? So basically, when you get a pattern, you are getting at least like 2 to 4 sheets of instruction of how to put things together, and you're getting all the pattern pieces. There's a lot of smaller pattern companies where things are a little bit cheaper than what you'll find at Joann. But also, if you are shopping Joann, always use a coupon. Never pay full price. Yeah, I would agree with Haley. Evelyn Wood. Also, Gertie's Patreon. Like I said earlier, she does a... Gertie should hire me. Gertie, sponsor me. But she does, for every Patreon pattern she creates, she does a video walkthrough. So that will walk you through how to do the patterns. I looked all over for a pattern piece once. I dug through the garbage through my other pails, couldn't find it at all. And then I saw it dropped over my shoulder when I looked in the mirror. That's so funny. Yes, Allison, we hate it, but we need it. If I can follow the surface and make it happen, I believe anyone can do it. Oh, Friday. Thank you. I know, Jonathan. These poor people that had to do sew-in interfacing. No, sure. Oh, yeah. Like I said, historical stitches I use, charm patterns, Anna Depew, even though I feel like she's a little more advanced. All right, so I take my waistband and I fold it in half. I don't know why I'm talking like that. And if you've seen some of like the gathered skirt tutorial, you'll have seen this part. And then I use these little guys. They come with different color pencils. It's just a chalk liner. So I'll grab the red. I like it because it really makes really thin lines and stays a lot sharper than a lot of others. Amazon, if anybody's looking for these. I don't know what the company is actually. At some point, I will try to find it and put it up somewhere. I really like these. If you're buying from a fabric store, know your measurements before you buy. Not every size. Oh, Friday, that's a really good. So I go off like when you're looking to figure out what size you are. When you're looking to figure out what size you are, I always go by what measurement is not your biggest, but more like your most untraditional, right? Because you always buy something off the rack and now I'm just opening up my waistband and I'm going to mark my seam allowance. And the reason why I do that is because, especially when I'm doing a gathered skirt, because of the bunching and the gathering, sometimes you can kind of get off track a little bit. So I just do this to make life easier for me. What was I saying? Now I don't remember what I was saying before that. Thanks for hanging out with me, by the way, tonight, you guys. You've made this so much more entertaining. And then I flip it over to the other side, and then I also mark my seam allowance. And the reason for that is because I'm going to turn it over and iron it down. And again, it's especially on gathered skirts. Has anybody ever sewn a waistband on a gathered skirt and then you turn it over and the line is just kind of wonky and all over the place? That's why I do it. Oh yes, sizing. Yes. So like when you buy off the rack clothing, you know, and you're like, well, I have to buy this size because my hips don't fit my waist, or I have to buy this size top because my bust is always bigger than, this size. So whatever that thing is for you, that's what you go off of. Mine is that my hips are always smaller than what my waist is. So my waist to hip ratio is weird. So for me, it is my waist that I go off of when I'm looking at a pattern. My bust measurement typically is about what is expected for a waist of my size, as long as it's not a plus size pattern. If it's a plus size pattern, I do sometimes have to scale the bust down a little bit. But yeah, so whatever that is for you, that's what you want to keep in mind when you're looking at the pattern and deciding what size you need. Because usually there's a break at, I want to say it goes from, I was going to guess while I'm standing in front of a wall of patterns. This one is from like a 14 to a 22. So usually it goes from like a 6 to a 12 and then a 14 to a 22. Love notions, style, me still, etc. They are out there. Don't use a pattern, you miss the fun of. If you don't use a pattern, you miss the fun of arguing about the pattern instructions under your breath. that they must have written them wrong. Yep. Rebecca Page, Closet Court, Itch to Stitch. You guys, we're going to have a lot of great people to check out after this. Vincent DePaul, Village Savers. I'm not in the city anymore. Whoops. I don't get down there as much as I would like to. The Pakemu from Submissive, but I'm going to need to do grading. I think you need, I drop. See, this is the only thing with these little pen things. If you drop it, like I just did, they almost always break. And then if you drop it too many times because you're clumsy. Hand by London. Yeah, great circle skirt calculator. I almost exclusively use theirs. Roll a tape measure in your purse. Yes. You can Google free patterns and then you can find some. It's funny. I was like, I'll probably live stream for like an hour, hour and a half, but I feel like I'd like to finish this tonight. It's Bowen brand. Thank you. Belly is bigger than the bust. You work from that. Yep. Thank you for answering. They never state what is included. Look up a free one. Lifting pins and needles on YouTube has taught me. Lifting pins and needles? Ooh, I'm going to have to check that out. Great tutorial. Professor Pincushion. Professor Pincushion is great, especially if you're like reading a pattern and reference something and you're like, I don't know what that is. Professor Pincushion will almost always have a really good tutorial on it. Yeah. Great resource. So I guess what I'm saying is if I want to do bound buttonholes, I should watch Professor Pincushion tutorial because I'm sure she has one. I'm going to put a tape measure on my purse right now before I forget. Yep. And the big brands have lots of extra ease in them. They do. Nothing is the same. Sometimes also before you cut out your pattern, you can kind of, I will use a tape measure on the pattern to figure out what the actual finished measurements are going to be. Because even though sometimes they'll put them on there, they won't be right. If it's going to skirt, go by hips. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point, Cassie. Are you big into making a muslin? Well, this Betty, it all depends on the day. I will say this. It depends on what I'm making and how much my fabric is. If I am, when I made my Betty White replica dress, I did muslins on it because my fabric was expensive and also I really wanted it to turn out really, really well. When I did the Brooklyn jacket, which was, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw the little reel of it. And if you watch the haul video, I had a little insert of the finished jacket. That one I did not do a muslin. Did I make it a little too big? Yes, because like I said earlier, for some reason, I'm having like a body dysmorphia thing where I think I'm bigger than I am. So I keep adding inches to things. Afraid that it's going to be too small. So I did make that a little bit big, but I did it without a muslin. But I think that comes. Whoop, 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 stumbling around over here. That really comes from kind of knowing the patterns. Like the Brooklyn jacket was a girdie, and I kind of know how her sizes fit me. So I wasn't worried that the sizes were going to be like insanely wrong. Okay, so I've got the new waistband cut out. So now we need to attach it to the skirt. So, buttons on. I have two options. I can sew the waistbands together and then attach it to the skirt, kind of going around. Or I can do it like you're supposed to do it and attach it to each section, but that does mean I am going to have to redo the side seams. I'm going to sew the waistbands together. I think that's going to be the easiest. All right. So we're going to go over to, all right, I'm going to check the comments real quick, and then we're going to go over to the sewing machine, and I'll be able to bring one of the cameras over there. Learn with the seam ripper. Makes me think of the game Clue. Professor Pincushion in the solarium with the seam ripper. I love that. That might be my favorite next to fabric lips. All right. So what we are going to do is I'm going to, so this is what the waistbands look like now. So I have this side folded in and this side the seam marked. So that's going to be my stitching line. You're gonna thank you, Space Hound. I think everybody needs caftans in their life. So you will notice that the top of this is really kind of jagged, and that is the gathering process. So what am I going to do about that? What am I going to do about that? Because that's going to cause problems. So I think what we're going to do is, I don't know, you guys. Do I just want to kind of, you know what? Now that I think about it, we are going to have to take out our zipper, because the minute I start cutting this down, it is going to, the zipper is going to end up being too long, because we're going to be taking out probably another 5/8 of an inch. So I am going to take out the zipper. Dagnabbit. All right. That's easy enough. Make it easier. Make it easy. All right. So now, there we go. Zipper's out. Because some of these are really, okay. Some of these are really, this is what we're going to do. Don't laugh at my scissors. All my scissors are dull. Gather it back down, then sew it. All right. So I am going to clip just a little bit. Again, my scissors are terrible. Oh, look at that. All right. I am just going to, I don't know. I think we'll be okay. We're just going to gather this down. Is that what we're going to do? Yeah, I think so. All right. Gather it back down, go. All right. So let's see if we can, you guys over here. Here. Testing. All right. Hopefully you guys will be able to see me and hear me. So we're going to be over here for a bit. And then there we go. I guess it probably would have been easier to bring the sewing machine over to you guys rather than you guys to the sewing machine. but we shall see. All right. So now I almost forgot that I needed a chair to sit in. Excuse me, pardon me. All right. Pardon me, excuse me. That is, you guys are like right there. Okay. So let's see. First thing we need to do is we need to change out. I really wish this was a little farther away. There we go. There, that's better. Whew. I mean, you guys see it. Easy schmeezy. I'm doing the gathers. Woohoo! You got this. All right. So, what do you guys sew on, by the way? Both of my serger and sewing machine are Viking. I used to sew on my mom's Singer from, I don't know. Basically, I think it was a 60s Singer. And it was before Singer went downhill, like in the sometime in the 60s, their machines moved more into plastic. They became not as durable as they used to be. But I like my Viking. It does some embroidery stuff on it, but not a ton. Which I haven't done really any of the bells and whistles. I bought like some embroidery thread and everything to do it, and I still haven't done it. A 90-year-old Singer, Bernina. I have a Janome overlocker. Friday, I was going to buy a Janome, but the lady at the store was really mean to me, and I did not like her. So I said, you cannot have my money. You cannot have my money. And the bad thing was for her, which she will never know, is that I wanted a serger and a sewing machine. So I was ready to put down like a bunch of money, but she was so mean. But I hear a lot of people like Janome. So I am just stitching the waistbands together. Also, do you guys sew with your shoe on or off? I always take my shoe off when I sew. And I can never remember. It's about like half an inch. I like to be able to like feel the pedal. And if I have shoes on, I can't feel it. Is that weird? If it is, that's the way we like things. I have a Singer sewing machine and a new Juki sewing machine a few years ago. I use a Singer, both machines. I have a Singer serger in the basement. I don't like it. Baby Lock. I've heard a lot of good things about Baby Lock. Self threads. Oh, yeah, especially on those sergers. Oh, that would be so nice. This self thread, it has an auto threader, kind of like the little thing but it stopped working for me. So I'm like, okay, I'm just not even going to bother. But yeah, the self threaders on the sergers would be sweet. Mine's not terrible to thread though. So I'm kind of happy about that it's not the biggest pain in the butt. What's that? When you saying, oh. I feel like she just needs to get a new sewing machine, right? It is a relationship, I feel like, you build with your sewing machine. I will say that this has an auto cutter, but I need to replace the blade, so it's not cutting as well as it used to. Singer, lots of singers in the comments, you guys. I may have to watch what I say about singers now. I also have a treadle sewing machine. Oh, nice. Alicia, you mostly hand sew? Cool. I've been trying to make myself a Husqvarna that scares me because it's so freaking expensive. I have a Husqvarna Viking Opal 690Q. And it's been really good. It's a nice machine. But yeah, it is an investment. But they do have payment plans if that's an option for you. Shoes off. Every time, shoe off. Can we talk about why some sewing shop so mean, right, Haley? Oh my gosh. Was it at a Janome store too? Show off. I have my grandma's old like pedal operated singer machine. It's in my living room, and I want to sew something on it one day, but the belt broke because it got brittle. So I have to get a new belt for it. That is not where that is. Okay. At least I know I'm in good company with the whole shoe off thing. Right? Barefoot, baby. I'm not sure. I might have to look up a treadle. I'm not entirely sure if I know what that is. I think I know, but I'm not entirely sure. What am I doing? Okay. I am going to gather up the skirt, and I have a gather foot that I am addicted to. I don't feel like it works for me as good as it works for some other people. And I don't know if it's me. Oh no. It's trying to screw in a screw and read comments at the same time. Dreaming of getting a serger. Feather white. Who is it? Somebody has like a ton of like little vintage Singer featherweights. You interviewed at a job at a sewing store, which is why they asked me questions about myself. Huh. Wow, that's weird, Morgan. Change your life. All right. So this should already be set to ruffle the right way. Basically, this little guy up here says how often like the little thing pushes a ruffle back, and I have it at 1, and then the little screw here tells it how deep to ruffle, which is why it's so amazing. So it does more like a little pleat ruffle than it does like the traditional like gathering. I still do traditional gathering sometimes just because. Now I gotta find the end. So what's going on? What's going on? Viking, Singer, older machines. What you have is a treadle in your living room. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you. That's what I thought it was. Oh. My cousin sits cross-legged on the floor and pushes with the outside of her knee. Oh, interesting. Depth of the rufflers with a ruffler foot when you have to set the length. I do not math, Cassie, at all. Basically, I kind of eyeball it now because I kind of know what it does. But what I did originally when I bought it was I did samples. So I would do it at a certain depth and see how that went, and just really kind of played around with it to figure it out, because they don't really come with instructions of like exactly how to do it. So yeah, so just playing around with it. Main motor overloaded. Oh my gosh. Getting a weird message on my machine. Just please wait. All right, now let's see. Oh my God. What is going on? Oh. Okay. All this talking, I did it wrong. I did not put the thing in properly. Oh my God. Hopefully it's not. The only ruffles I'm tackling today are in a bag. Yes, she had bought it to fix her mom's sewing machine, and her dad changed her mind. I think that can be reversed. So I forgot to put this around the thing. I don't know if that's what's giving me that overload error. I'm not really sure what that's about. Hopefully I didn't break my machine, because I don't think so. This has, because one of the things this machine has is it has like a sensor to know like the weight of what it's going through. So like we were talking about jeans earlier. So if you're going from like a single layer of jean to a double layer of jean, it will sense that and it will like readjust its pressure. So I'm hoping that that's what this was, because that wasn't connected, that the pressure was too much. Fingers crossed. There we go. Yeah. And I do this fairly slow, because sometimes I feel like it doesn't grab the fabric enough. Like it skips over the fabric. So I try to keep it kind of loose over on this side. I don't know, you guys. Your singer is named Beth. Morgan and Crystal. Now I need to name my machines now. Oh my gosh. Well, I think one of them has to be Laverne, right? That was my aunt's name, who was a seamstress. And it's funny, I really see, this isn't really not pushing it, you guys. There it goes. I really am sad that I wasn't sewing clothes at, when she was around, because I feel like there was such a wealth of information, because I feel like fitting clothes, like knowing how to fix like, things that are tight and things that do weird things and armpits and all of that is like such a talent and such a great skill. And it's one of those that I am still learning. And I wish I could learn from her. See, this is what happens. I start out real slow and then I just sew faster. My roommate is waiting for me to finish live streaming so we can watch The Last of Us, which may not happen tonight because they go to bed really early. And I'm like, we're so close to having this done. We got to finish it. We really didn't get too much into the mend pile. So I guess this might have to become a monthly thing. Let me know if you guys like this and you want to see this every month. Because you guys make having to do mending a lot more fun, because, otherwise fabric lips would never have come into my life. Laverne and Janet. if your machines aren't arguing with you. Right. Come on. You can do it. We're almost there. Are we almost there? Yeah, we're almost there. Oof. As I pull out the guys, we're almost there. I feel like a bad hostess. I'm like, are you okay? Do you guys need drinks? What's going on? I feel like I'm ignoring everybody right now. Come on, come on. Come on, Janet. Kind of works. The other thing with this gathering that I do is I also do not gather all the way to the end because you don't want that gathering inside your seam allowance. So this part of the seam allowance is ungathered. It's going to make it easier for when we have to do the put the zipper back in and all that kind of thing. But as you can see, we now have like these little pleats. Obviously, this is all jig-jaggy, rig-raggy, which, yeah, I could have taken time to make sure that that wasn't the case. But, you know, I didn't. So that's what that is. Since we're already over here, I am just going to pin on the waistband. So because I did the waistband as a whole, I guess one could say, I'm going to locate my side seams. I think I had side seams. Did I have side seams? I'm fairly sure I had side seams on this skirt. Because there was a, oh, that's the side, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, right? Oh my gosh, you guys. Because there was a version of the skirt that I did. Oh, here's seam. Okay. There is a version of the skirt that I did that did not have side seams because of the way that it was. So I'm just finding like one of my side seams. Okay, hold on. Hold on. This is not the front of the skirt. No, that should be the front of the skirt. This is the front of the skirt. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. You know what I'm just realizing? This this was a side zip skirt, not a back zip. And I cut the waistband out like a back zip. Does that matter? Does it? Not really. Not really. But what that does mean is that I do need to find, because I want to make sure that the waistband is even, because just in case the ruffled too much or not enough, I want to make sure that everything is even. So while it's not, I mean, it's not going to matter in the long run, right? Right. We all make mistakes, especially when we're live streaming our sewing. So basically I'm putting a pin into what is the center of my waistband because I have an opening on one side and a seam on the other side. And I just want to make sure that the center of my waistband matches the side seam. If that makes sense. No one will notice. It'll work. She's not putting pockets. They have pockets would help with finding those sides. They do have pockets, but there are patch pockets on the front of the skirt. All right, so here we are, side seams. Because yes, I am a big fan of putting pockets on skirts and all of that. won't matter if you don't tuck in a blouse. Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, nobody's gonna see that it doesn't have that the waistband seams are not the same. The other thing that I'm going to do is I am also going to find the center of this. So basically this is the center. Oh, okay, there you can see it. So this is the side seam, this is the side seam, and this is the center. So then I'm also going to do the same with the skirt. And pull it out until it reaches the center mark. Again, this is going to help make sure that everything is kind of balanced out, because you can kind of see right now that the waistband is a lot looser than the stitching is. So I am actually going to hold on to the side seam. I'm going to take that pin out. And I'm just kind of move my gathering out. Oh, did I break it? Yeah, I sure did. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine, you guys. It's absolutely fine. Yep, that's fine. It's fine, right? I know I'm really odd, but I never put in pockets because you rarely use them. That is not odd. It's just different. Different is good, right? So since I broke, as you can see, I broke the gathering there. I'm just going to kind of gather it together and start over here. All is not lost. All is not lost. Could I redo it? Yeah. If this was anybody but my skirt, I would. But you know, when it's our own, sometimes we just make do. Make do and mend. Oh, your gathering broke too? No. Pockets. Yes, my precious pockets. Like your golem. Blasphemy. I honestly just like them to put like a lipstick in, my car keys, debit card. Makes it easy to run into the store. But I will say I recently got a dress from La Femme, one of their corpse bride dresses, like a knit one. And it has pockets, but because it's not a full skirt, the pockets don't look right, you guys. They kind of pop out a little bit, and does not give a good silhouette. And I am at the point where I'm either going to return it or I'm going to take out the pockets. I mean, we could always live stream taking out pockets. When you sew this much gathering side towards the wind, huh? I did the same to fix yours. It's now a design feature. When you sew this, make the gathering side towards the feed dogs. Yes, I do. Because I also have my little line of where I'm going to sew. So that way I ensure that my line is straight and even. Well, I fixed 2 shirts and a pair of leggings tonight. I feel really ooh, Space Hound. Nice. I like it. Can you redo the pockets? Yeah, I could probably redo them, but you know, it doesn't look right. It really doesn't look right. I think I just have to get rid of the pockets because it's more like an A-line. Yeah, did I break it? Sure did. So it just, because I carry my weight in the belly, I think is why the pockets don't lay right. Or I think that maybe they just didn't add enough like volume in that area to make the pockets lay right. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if anybody else has that problem with that dress. It's a really cute dress, and it's like a silhouette that I don't have in my closet right now, which is what I'm trying to do. Like when I buy clothes off the hanger, is trying to do stuff that I don't already have or that I'm not already making, or I can make myself or want to make myself. Your bobbin ran out of thread halfway through. Huh. That's what bras are for. Pockets cause problems when dancing. Pull the skirt down. Nah, I always do pockets, always. The pocket poof is a really common fitting issue. Look who's here. Mimus is here. Hello, I just found. Hi, Beverly. Is there anyone on here that lives in Tennessee to teach me? Not that I am aware of. I know we were talking earlier. If you go back through the comments, there's some really good YouTube channels that can help teach you how to sew if you want to do it in a non-classroom setting. If you have a local Joann's, they sometimes have sewing classes. Also, local libraries sometimes will have sewing classes as well. So there can be some really good local resources. My gathering broke. All right. Is my gathering on the skirt going to be perfect? Probably not. Probably not. Can I live with that? Absolutely. I'm going to take off my gathering foot. I'm going to put back my regular foot. You tried putting stuff in your... What ended up down in my socks? Oh, Donnelly. We'll definitely look into that. Thank you very much. Progress, not perfection. Yeah. Replay crew reminder to do the YouTube things. Oh, thanks, guys. He has made an appearance. The star of my YouTube channel. I do have 2 cats. You just never see the other one. All right. So we are really close to having this done. So, you know, you guys are... I was only going to make this like an hour and a half max, but we are so close to having this done. 7, 8, 9. It's going to be 2.5 hours, probably. Yeesh. Yeesh. All right. Here we go. Let's sew this baby up. And yes, don't yell at me. I am going to go over pins, because this is real life. And I wear glasses, so I feel like I feel like that kind of gives me a pass when it comes to sewing over pins, because, you know, if anything were to pop, then my glasses will at least protect my eyes. Also with gathering, you want to make sure as well to kind of like pull on the skirt a little bit, because you want everything to kind of like be laying nicely as you run it through the machine. Because otherwise, sometimes it can get like these weird little folds. If I was doing this from scratch as well, I would be sewing down or ironing down my seam allowances, which, as you can see here, I did not. Go, Jen, go. Oh, did you... If your sewing machine doesn't do something weird while you're sewing, are you really sewing at all? So for some reason, here is a reminder to not buy cheap thread. because this spool that I have is cheaper thread and it snapped on me. So luckily I noticed it now and not when I got to the end of things. But yeah, this is a PSA for make you not hate yourself and buy good thread. I usually buy Gutermann, and I usually don't have any problems with their thread snapping. Thank you, Donnelly, for coming and hanging out with me. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for so long. Oh, 20 minutes of Jen trying to thread. Honestly, some days I think that the only thing that will stop me from sewing as I get older is my inability, like once I can't see to thread things, which makes me really sad because I already have bad eyesight, bad hearing, bad eyesight, you name it. And we're off. And don't tell me my thread broke because I ran over pins. Ouch. So what shows are you guys watching right now that you like? As I mentioned earlier, I'm watching The Last of Us, which it did it again. Dang son of a flippin' flap. This is just really. Magnifying glass table clamp. Oh, nice. It does thread, but like for some reason, I don't know. I think I did something and I got too ham-fisted one day and it stopped threading itself because it's supposed to be okay. So watch it works this time. So I'm supposed to be able to take the needle all the way up and then hook it into this thing and then go like this, and it's supposed to thread and it doesn't. So I think it's like slightly misaligned. So now I'm stuck doing this. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Okay. All right. So I think what we are gonna do is I'm debating two things. One, I can, because after we do this, all we have to do is reinsert the zipper and then sew the waistband down, which is probably going to take me at least a half an hour. There's that. So I could do that, or I could just finish it with putting on the waistband. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we just go for another half hour and just finish this right now, right here? Or do I make this a digestible live stream by ending it closer to the 2-hour mark? Let me know in the comments how invested we are to finishing this all on the stream. Finish it, get it done. Oh, the next part of you. Enterprise. Easy. It's easy when you're almost done. Get her done. All right. If you guys want to hang out with me, I will get it. We will finish it. All right. So the other thing that I'm going to do real quick is I am going to pink my seam allowance because nobody wants this much bulk in their waistband. Do my pinking shears need to be sharpened? Yep. I think a lot of the other mending videos won't be this long. I mean, adding a new waistband is one of the longer things that is probably in the pile. Get her done. I've only got hems to do, so we'll finish together. I love it, Cassie. Love the show. The clothes were amazing. Watch A Discovery of Witches. Like that. I might have to watch that. The new Carnival Row season just came out, which I'm excited about. The new Picard just started. It's going to be its last season. So I'm really excited about that. I love space and I love zombies and I love musicals. Oh, did you guys also see that there's a new series coming out on, I think it's Paramount? It's a new Grease. It's Pink Ladies. They're doing a series about the Pink Ladies. And it's colorblind casting. And I don't know. It just looks really, really good. And I'm super excited about it. I think it's not coming out until April. Oh, hey, Jennifer. Thanks for jumping in. We've decided we're going for it. We're even though this is going to be a long live stream at the end, we're going to finish this up. We are putting on a new waistband onto the skirt. Because the old waistband was too small and it had been sitting in my closet, not being worn, which we don't love for ourselves. Okay. What am I going to do next? I think we are going to do zipper. I think we need to put the zipper back in. Yep. I'm going to just pull off all the little things. League of Their Own series. I did not watch it. I had not heard. Hey, Ashley. Thanks for jumping in. I should head off to, need to go to the post office. Thanks. Oh, yay. Thank you so much for coming out, Sarah, and hanging out with me for so long. You liked it, but you don't know. The this is part of the reason why I hate redoing something is all the little frickin' strings. And I know once everything is done, a lot of the like little threads and stuff aren't seen. So it really shouldn't be like a problem, but all right. I am going to have to jump over to the ironing board real quick. Okay. Oh, there goes my light. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me from way over here. So basically, all I need to do really quick is just iron down the seam allowance on each side for inserting the zipper. It just makes it a little bit easier. And it's still warming up, and I'm still trying to. Oh, thank you, Morgan. Oh, the other Jennifer. A lint roller helps. Oh, Jennifer. Morgan is right. You are brilliant. An eraser helps put those little bits of threads off. Ooh, you guys. Smart group. And then I always do this weird thing. I know you guys can't see it from over there, but I always like tuck my little corner in the very top. I know that probably made no sense since you couldn't see it. Sorry. A lint roller. Wish I had a lint roller. Lint roller. Just gonna keep saying lint roller until one magically appears. Would it be bad of me if I watched The Last of Us without my roommate? Yes, I will be good. I will be good. Because they will probably go to bed before I'm done. All right. So that is all ironed. So now what do I do with the zipper? Did you put interfacing before the zipper like Gertie does? I do not, actually. I find that I don't have as much. Don't watch without them. Treason. What? What's going on? Oh my gosh. I don't interface my zippers. I don't really seem to have a problem with them getting wonky with putting them in, which I know that interfacing is really good for kind of making sure that this area doesn't stretch. I think it's a great tip. I think my not doing it has more to do with the fact that I feel like, well, it's one more step and I don't really feel like I need it. But if you have problems with zippers, I think it's a really good tip. So basically, I line up the left side of the zipper, pin it down, and then I sew that side, and then I pin the other side after, like, while it's still in the machine. It's a weird way to do it, but for some reason, I just find it works the best for me because I'm able to make sure then that it lines it up. And if I have to stretch and pull, because like sometimes with the fabric, it has like a little give. I don't know. I guess he fell asleep one time and got mad. I watched it without him. So yeah, I what am I saying? I don't really know right now. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I explained why I do it this way a lot better in my gathered skirt tutorial. But essentially, I just have the left side pinned in, and then I start, and then I stitch. I do stitch. Yep. Just need to make sure he's poking out like he should. Okay. I line it up too with like I line it up with like the little edge of my thing there. This one though, I always make sure that my needle is down because I like to be able to kind of like not pull on it, but keep it nice and taut. So that way I can sew a lot straighter. And I try not to sew over my pins in this one just because I find that sometimes it causes it to kind of like jog to the left, which we don't like jogging around these parts when it comes to sewing or exercising. Oh, Catherine. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Catherine. I didn't even know that was a thing. Thank you so much. Oh my God, that was very sweet of you. I was mighty stroppy. Hubbybot. Season 3. Okay, I'm going to have to catch up and find out what your husband fell asleep while you were watching, because now I'm really intrigued. All right. So now I pull out that last pin. I give a couple more stitches, and then I zip her up. And then I kind of set this basically, I think you can kind of see this, right? I can feel underneath my finger here where the zipper stop is. And I'm just going to kind of hold my fabric. So down, just past the zipper stop, turn it. And then I count because I want to make sure it's kind of even on both sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that kind of ensures that they're both in the same. Now, this zipper stop is much farther down, so it's going to kind of create a pocket that the zipper head will sit in, which I could have seam ripped that a little bit, but you know, sometimes it is what it is. And then I just kind of hold everything together, and then I'm going to start sewing up. And then after I've done a couple stitches, I unzip really quick for just a moment to make sure that my zipper is not completely out of whack so that it's hitting right at the fold. And it is. So I'm going to go ahead and pin that right up at the top. And then I pin again right below the waistband seam. And then I'm going to close it up again and do a couple more stitches. Again, making sure everything's laying nice and flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I want to make sure that the zipper head is going to go past the foot, so it's not kind of like bumping thing. This is from Oblong Box Shop. And now that I'm past it, I am going to pin it down. There is I have made one. Yeah. I want to say it's a Butterick pattern from like a Butterick recreation from the 70s. I can't think of what it is. But that is very much this exact design. I just really liked her print on this, so I had to have it. One of my next sewing videos is actually going to be the waterfall dress from Gertie, which I'm excited about. So now I've got it kind of pinned. Again, I keep it taut, and I follow my little guide of the edge of my feed dogs there, and I just sew. See what I mean? I feel like zippers aren't that scary, right? Buttons are definitely scarier. And I also feel like if something goes wrong with your zipper, it's a lot easier to seam rip a zipper and start over again than it is to seam rip a buttonhole. Now, I say I don't sew over pins, but when I get to the top here, I do, just because I do not want that to move at all. See, like that top always wants to like squiggle out of the way, like a little worm. All right. I'm at HR behind you. Oh my gosh, you guys. This drama of the husband falling asleep. Like, I need to know. All right. There we go. Our zipper is all in again. Is it perfect? Probably not. Now all we have to do is actually sew down this part of the waistband. We just want it to cover that inside gathering, which is why like doing this so it's ironed down makes it so much easier, because now you know everything is going to be even. Am I going to pin it? Yes, I'm going to pin it in a couple areas. I tend to lay it down because and I do it right here at my sewing machine, because you can feel the bulk of the fabric behind there, so you know that you're capturing the excess. Okay. What? Okay, guys, you gotta let me know. What did he fall asleep watching? What did he fall asleep watching? Now, I'll be honest, if I wasn't live streaming right now, I would probably take this over to the iron and iron the seam inside the waistband up so that it would be a lot easier to capture it. But is it necessary? No, it just makes things a little bit easier. Oh, Midge, thank you. Is that just for keeping you company while you edit? You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much, sweetie. You're the best. See, people say the internet is a bad place, but, well, sometimes it is. But our part of our little weird corner of the internet is a lovely place to be. Yes. If you look up charm pattern waterfall, basically it's like a bodycon caftan. So it's basically form-fitting in the front, but then has like gathered fabric behind, so it creates like this really dramatic effect. He fell asleep with the remote for the poison. Girl, you out here giving me 2 hours of free quality content and keeping me sane while I edit. I will always keep you sane while you edit. Although, you know, if I can make you weirder while you edit, that would be even better. All right. Guys, we are almost there. It looks like a cape. Yeah, kind of. Oh, a little ironing pad for your streams. Ashley, I gotta check out your streams. Oh, you can use it on your table so you don't have to move. Nice. All right. So that is pretty much pinned. Also, these things, I love them. They're just little snippers to keep by your sewing machine. Because it used to be that I'd have to constantly get up to get my scissors all the time. All right. Seeing a lady in a pink dress, side profile. I think that might be it. Okay. So now that everything is pinned up and we can see from the inside that our seam is captured inside of that, we are good to go to sew it. So I always start with going up at the top, because again, I want this side to kind of be holding that zipper down. I am going to take off my zipper foot. Love those snippers. Oh, I know, they're so great. I've been doing a couple conventions lately for work, and I met the guys who run Famore Cutlery. And they make these amazing scissors. Sorry, I'm concentrating now. So I'm basically just sewing right over the stitch that I already made. And then I know a lot of people stitch in the ditch, but it gives me anxiety. And basically what that is it's stitching right into the seam line. And I feel like when you miss it, it just looks bad. So I actually stitch right above the ditch. So has anybody actually used any Femore scissors? Because I obviously use Friskers and I also use Gingers. But Femore, they are, not only are they great guys, but they also super ethical with how their stuff is produced. And they really make high quality product at a reasonable cost and really care about the people that are making their product for them, which I feel like is so rare to find. So I'm like, I've been talking about like my scissors are so dull that I really want to pick up some of their scissors. So I'd be interested to hear if any of you guys have ever used their stuff. Last I knew, Friskers were guaranteed for life. Stitching in the ditch is just pressure that nobody needs. Nobody needs that in their life. And plus, I like the way that the stitch line looks. I mean, I don't know, like in certain things, I don't know why we're always trying to hide stitches. I think they can look cute. What, guys? I need all the scissor deets. I need new snips too. They're called Femore, Famore cutlery. They're online. I believe they're in some stores as well. But they use like tungsten steel. And if you ever are at a convention that they're going to be at, they do sharpening in their booth. I had our booth was right next to them. We were just at Katsucon, which is an anime convention in DC, just a couple weeks ago, and I had guess what happened? My thread broke again because it's bad thread. But they so they sharpen scissors at their booth, right? And we had these little tiny, like, Dollar Tree kids scissors that we were using to open our boxes at our booth. And as a joke, I went over there and I was like, hey, can you sharpen my scissors? Just thinking that they would laugh at me, you know, like, ha ha. Literally, like, the blunt edge kids scissors. He freaking sharpened my scissors for me. My Dollar Tree child-proof scissors. And they worked. They worked much better. But yeah. Doesn't your company make some like crazy hot glue guns? Yes, we do. We do. Yeah, Midge. We can talk. I can get you some. We do. We make some really good hot glue guns. We have some cordless ones. We have some that are like semi-cordless. But we recently came out with a cosplay hot glue, which is why we've been doing the conventions, which has been just a dream. I love nerdy conventions. I mean, it is different working them rather than being at them. But, you know, it's just really fun to be around like a bunch of like super creative people. And that's where I got to hang out and talk with Cowbutt Crunchies and Casey Renee and Sarah Spaceman. So it's just really, really cool to see what people are doing. It's just, I don't know, it's just really cool to be around people that are so passionate about something. Which is one of the reasons why I'm really going to miss, you know, being at Viva this year. Because that's, you know, it's like a Technicolor dreamland. Planet Comic-Con in KC. Oh, I wish. It does need to be binned. They were the deadliest kid scissors ever. Oh, nice, Friday. I wish. I think the only other ones, I know for sure we're probably going to be doing Dragon Con again this year, which I might actually create a sort of kind of cosplay for, because we always go out Saturday night after the booth closes. And man, do they do cosplay there. It's like deep cosplay too. Last year, a group of people went as the bats that attacked Eddie Munson in Stranger Things. It's beautiful. And they had a sign that said, "Kill all the Eddies." I know. We're so close. I have a childhood best friend that lives down in Kansas City too. I should just make a trip out there someday, and then that way I can see you and her. Because it's really only like 4 or 5 hours. So yeah, so the cosplay, or kind of sort of cosplay adjacent, that I was actually thinking about doing it, building it on YouTube as well, but is doing like a potentially like a 30s version, like make the TARDIS from Doctor Who fashion from the 1930s. I don't know. I thought something like that might be cool. Will I do it? I don't know, but it's something that's been living in my head rent-free for a long time. And I just get really intimidated by some of the ideas, but, you know, we got to push our... Oh. This close! So, but sometimes we've got to attempt some of these things, right? Y'all do it. That would be awesome. You always got a place in Beetle Suite. You know I do. Stupid thread. I know. Oh, no. Oh, guys. It's actually like stuck in there. Now, how to put my machine back together. Woo-hoo. Okay. Let's see. What is this? 789. Oh, I said 9:30, didn't I? The pressure is on. I'm already over. I feel like with my ADHD, I feel like it's like either everything takes 2 seconds, and it doesn't. It takes like 2 hours, or it takes 5 months. And it doesn't. It takes like a week, you know? It's like I have no concept of how long things actually take to accomplish. And that's like with that project, I'm like, oh, well, Dragon Con is in August, or end of August, beginning of September. I can't possibly get it done by then. Really? How many months away is that? No concept of time. And with that, it is set on fire. That would be better. With that, you guys, it seems weird to finish our live stream in the corner, but with that, we now have a new waistband. Doo-doo-doo. I can now wear this skirt again. I am so excited. All right, I'm gonna go like, oh, can I do this? Oh, that's not the one that I want. There we go. Whoop. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna take you over to the table real quick. Oh my gosh, you guys, I cannot believe that we got this done. I am so stinking excited. I'm going to wear that tomorrow. I'll have to take a outfit video. Yay! Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Time blindness is a thing. We're not complaining. Yay! Trophy! Yay, yay! Thanks, guys! All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This was so fun. I will do this again next month. And I can't guarantee that they will be shorter, but hopefully they will be just as fun. Oh, yes, Dawn, get it done. You got it. You got it, girl. All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with me. Loved every minute of this. All right, bye. I'll see you soon on the interwebs.